All right, real quick, folks. It's getting late. I've got to get some sleep and get up and run in the morning. I am 3 weeks behind on getting this video out. I do apologize. We had Thanksgiving and all the holiday stuff that comes along with that, so I do apologize for being late. I did notice I have some subscribers. I'm still new to this, so if you're leaving comments, I'm not seeing them. I'll work on this channel as we go along. If you have tangible questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Again, my name is Deming. I run for CRST under the lease purchase program for the flatbed division. I'm here to tell you that this program works. In the introductory video, if you need to, go back to it. There's a list of things that I'm going to be covering in these videos. This is one of those videos I'm going to double up on. I'm going to cover the contracts here and your settlements and payment and getting paid. So on the contracts, I really can't say much about it. I am a business owner. I own a brokering firm other than what I do here. Here I drive under the lease purchase program. I do that for myself. I do have a brokering company, Senate Transport Services, but that is a separate entity from what I do here. I have been out here on the road for 22 years. So, but I also have worked as a safety director, and I've worked as an instructor in the industry for a college, or in a college setting, teaching how to get your CDL. So yeah, I've got quite a bit of knowledge. Doesn't mean I know everything. So again, what I'm going to cover here today is the contract itself with CRST and how you get paid and your settlements. Okay, I'm going to try and do it kind of quick. So if you need to, go ahead and leave a comment, ask questions. My truck number, just so everybody is aware of it. If you see me out here, don't be afraid to say hello. If you got questions, look, as long as I have time and I'm not, just hitting and getting, if I've got time, if I'm shut down for the night, I'll be more than happy to share dinner with you, have a cup of coffee, talk, and work on trying to get your numbers worked out for you. Okay? So, what you need to know, two primary things that you need to know are, what are your fixed expenses every week, whether you move this truck or not? Okay? And number two, what does it cost you per mile to run this truck? So we'll get all that from the settlements and how you get paid and figuring out a few other numbers. But first, on the contracts, real simple, folks. Talking to my lawyer, because I did talk to him and mentioned I was going to do these videos and go over the contracts, and he kind of shook his head and he said, wait a minute. He said, you really can't put that out on YouTube. Okay, in other words, I can't sit here with a copy of the contract and go over it with you. That is a legally binding private contract between you and CRST. Even if I use my own contract, that is a private contract written up by CRST. Unless I have their permission to go over that contract publicly, I'd be breaking the law. I'd have to have something signed saying I had an approval and the authority to be able to discuss that contract. 2 points of fact. I am not a business consultant by certification. I don't even know. I guess they have certifications for everything nowadays. But I'm not a certified business consultant. And I'm not a lawyer, so I really can't discuss those with you. All I can say, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, if you've been through orientation already, take some time, go back, read your contract, really read it, because a lot of times at orientation, you're getting it digitally in a room with other people sitting there. Everybody's waiting for their contracts, and they send it to you, and you're in a rush. You just want to get done and get out of there and get your truck and get out on the road and start making money, hopefully. So we just sign stuff and send it back. Okay, then we get our copy back because it's all signed, and off we go. Well, I can't stress it enough. This is a business venture, folks. Take the time to read the contracts. Okay? You're not in any great rush at that point, okay? And I'll remind you, when you get out here on the road, you're not in a rush either, okay? Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. These guys you see going down the highway 90 to nothing, most of them are truck stop drivers. They run 100 miles, stop in the truck stop for a little while, screw around for a couple hours. You know, they're hauling ass because they don't know how to drive appropriately and how to manage their time, okay? So don't be that person. Use your time wisely. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Even if it's an overnight run, it's still not a sprint, okay? So read the contract. That's all I can legally say about it, okay? And if you don't read it word for word, skim over it as in-depth as you can, and wherever you see numbers, stop, focus on that, see what it says, make sure you understand what numbers are what they mean, what they're for, and what they're about. That's all I can say on the contract. I can tell you it's not a bad contract. I've seen a bad lease purchase contract, been part of one, and this one is not bad. You can succeed with this program, I promise you. With that said, it's December now. Yeah, we have been in an economic crisis for, well, a year or more. So, look, the money's there to be made. You're not going to be making it hand over fist like you were last year or the year before, okay? We're still recovering. Rates are not going up. They're kind of leveling out and going down, while fuel costs and fuel prices are going up. So that doesn't work out well for us. But you can still make money here. So now I want to get into your fixed expenses, okay? You have to know what you're paying every week, regardless of whether you move the truck or not. Okay, and I'm going to go over these real quick. Then I'm going to put them up here on the screen so you can see them. Look at your settlements. Find these on your settlements. You want to total up the section that says reoccurring deductions. Okay? Total that up and it'll tell you what you're paying every week, whether you move the truck or not, and without fuel. Okay? No fuel, no nothing, just what you're paying for this lease purchase every week. So, what you're covering in here is the occupational insurance, the bond, bobtail insurance, physical damage, image scanning, which is the TransFlow, satellite deduction, which is not the Qualcomm, it's the use of the satellite, the license and permitting, the Qualcomm itself, in other words, not the satellite, but the Qualcomm, the road use tax, the cost for securement equipment, which you get from CRST. If you bring your own, you're not going to have that expense. But most people don't, and once you get your truck and your trailer, they're going to bring you a pallet of stuff. They give you a list to fill out, and you check off what you want, and they bring you a pallet or two of stuff, and you load it all onto your truck. That's your securement equipment. They also offer insurance for that equipment, okay? That's a separate reoccurring deduction. Then you have the lease payment for your truck, and then your trailer rental, okay? Now, I'm not going to get too far into the numbers with you right now. That'll come along in another video. I might even do that one next week about how compatible this lease purchase is with actually going out and purchasing a truck, okay? A lot of people say that these lease purchases are bullshit. They're not. Okay, this one in particular is not. The buyout at the end of this is $5,000. You have enough time from the time you start your lease till the last payment on your lease to save that $5,000. If you don't, they will even extend your payments to cover that $5,000. How much more convenient can they make it for you? But I would recommend, over the course of your lease, keep putting money back. Have that $5,000 available so that once you make your last payment, you can go into the office there, pay that truck off, and it's yours. Now, right there, you're getting almost an additional $2,000 a month into your pocket. So, I would get it paid off as quick as I could. That's just me. Now, I said I was going to show these to you. These are your reoccurring deductions or your fixed expenses. Okay? Find these on your settlement. You see it: occupational insurance, the bond, the bobtail insurance, physical damage, the image scanning, the satellite deduction, the licensing and permitting, the Qualcomm itself, road use tax, securement equipment, the equipment insurance for the securement. In other words, insurance on the securement equipment. Then you have the lease payment for the truck and the trailer rental. Add all these numbers up, and that's going to give you your fixed expenses for the week. You have to know this number in order to get to the end result of what does it cost me per mile to run this truck. This is the first step. Find out what your fixed expenses are for the week. This is what you're going to pay whether you roll those tires an inch or not. You could leave it parked for a week and you're still going to pay this amount. Nothing wrong with that. You do the same thing if you were buying a used truck. Just because you're not working doesn't mean you're not making payments, right? We all have loans out there. So, once you figured out your fixed expenses, we've got variable expenses. Now these change week to week, okay? And they're real simple. You have a cost per mile for maintenance. Depending on what truck you drive here, the year of your truck, whether it's an older truck or a newer truck, it's somewhere between 15 cents a mile and 26 cents a mile. Okay, so if you run 1,000 miles and you're paying 15 cents a mile for maintenance, you are going to pay $150 in maintenance to run that truck, to run that 1,000 miles. Okay, that's just one of the variable expenses. You've got 3 others. So variable expenses, you got your rate per mile for the maintenance, which is between 15 and 26 cents a mile. You've got any advances that you take out. In other words, every time you go to get fuel, it offers you the opportunity to take $50. Try not to go down that road. Really, try not to. If you're struggling and you don't have money for food and stuff like that, fine, go ahead and grab $40. Don't buy shit out of the truck stop though. Take that $40 somewhere on your route, stop at a Walmart, stretch that money. Make it work for the week until you get paid again. Okay, then you've got something on your comm data card to work with. Try to avoid the expenses. A lot of times people are taking the advances just arbitrarily and they're not keeping track of it, so they're losing, $50 at a whack and wonder where the money went when they've spent it. They took it and just forgot about it. So try to avoid the advances. If you really need it, take it. But go to a grocery store. Don't buy shit out of the truck stops. Stretch it at a grocery store. Additional oils, additives, washer fluid, coolant, things like that. Those are also variables. You don't spend it. You don't get them all the time. Certain times of the years you don't use fuel additives during the summer, right? You might run an injector cleaner or something like that, but check with the mechanics and the Freightliner before you go running that stuff. You might be doing more damage than help. The other variable expense is the most expensive one out there. That's your fuel. Okay, our biggest expense out here is fuel. Okay, if you saw what you spent in just 1/4 of the year, yeah, your head would probably spin. You would be like, holy crap, I can't believe I spent that much money. I never knew I made that much money. But you did. Okay? So your variable expenses, again, per mile maintenance cost, 15 to 26 cents a mile, depending on the truck you run. Any advances that you take when you get fuel, your additives, coolant, oils, things like that. And the big one is your fuel. So once you have your fixed expenses figured out, you pay this much per week, whether you move the truck or not. Now what you've got to worry about is your variable expenses, okay? And you want to try and keep these down, okay? Look, I know 15 to 26 cents a mile. I've got to run miles in order to make money. I know the whole story, and I will get into all of that in another video. I'm just giving you the numbers that matter right now. So find out what your fixed expenses are, and then focus on keeping your variable expenses low. Okay? Keep them to a minimum. How you do that's up to you. I will cover how I do it in a separate video. Okay, now we're going to get into the settlement itself. Okay, and I picked a really simple set of numbers to work with here. I've got a 500-mile run that is paying $1,350. Okay, so I went to the load board and I found a load. It's 500 miles, so it's pretty much just, pick it up in the morning, drop it off the next morning, right? 500 miles. If I pick it up early enough in the morning and they receive late enough at night, I might even be able to get it in the same day. But I'm not going to plan for that because I'm old, lazy, and just don't want to work that damn hard. So I'll pick it up, I'll run down probably the 500 miles, find a truck stop nearby, get some sleep, get up in the morning, drop it off. Okay, that's simple. But a 500-mile run that, according to the load board, is going to pay me $1,350. Okay, and here's how I know that, because it tells me that the line haul is going to pay me $1,000. The fuel surcharge is $250, and the extra, holy crap, they want me to tarp this thing. I'm old and lazy, don't like to, but I'll do it. That's going to be $100. So 1,000, 250, and 100 gives me $1,350. Sounds like a pretty good load. You're almost at $3 a mile there. Okay? But now we got to do our math. Okay? This is where people are thinking that they're getting robbed. Okay? Very upsetting when I hear people say that. Because when I look at their numbers, if they were to give me all their numbers, I can generally see what happened and where they did their math wrong. Okay? And that's it. We're just missing parts of the equation. That's why we think we're getting robbed. We're not, folks. We're not. Finance does make mistakes. Very few. And any that I've seen, they're very quick to fix. Okay? One of the big things I've seen is people saying, well, I'm supposed to get paid in 48 hours. I turned that in on Monday. I should have got paid on Wednesday. No, you didn't send it in till 3:30 on Monday. They didn't get it till Tuesday. So, you're not getting paid till Thursday. I'm sorry, that's 48 hours. I know you sent it in on Monday, but I'm not saying there's a cutoff time, but I believe the cutoff time is somewhere around 2 p.m. Okay? And just because you sent it in at 11 o'clock doesn't mean that they got it by 2 p.m. There's about 3 people working in that office for over 1,500 drivers. Cut them some slack. They do a pretty damn good job. So, let's get back to our load here. 500 miles for $1,350. Well, I make 75% of the load here. Some of you may make 70. If you make 70, it's because you have a driver manager. Now, don't be so quick to say, well, shit, I want 75%. Look, if you're new, particularly new to flatbedding and new to CRST, together, keep the DM. Keep them for 6 months to a year. I would say a year to a year and a half. And it's not because I don't want you to make money, but that DM can put you on loads. Where I have to find my own loads off the load board or by other avenues, that DM is going to keep you connected. If you're taking a load, I'm taking a load from Grand Isle, Nebraska, down to Corpus Christi, Texas, right now. If I don't know CRST and the running lanes and what agents to call and who to call, or if I don't have agents calling me because nobody knows how I run, well, it helps to have a DM, because on the way down tomorrow, as long as I've got my Bluetooth in, I can call my DM and say, hey, I'm going to be in Corpus Christi Friday morning, making my delivery. Who should I call, or what do you think I should do next? I need some advice. And they can help you out. They can either tell you which agents to call, or they can say, hey, I'm looking at the load board right now. We've got this load with this agent right here. What do you think? and they can get you connected and keep you moving. And it costs you 5%. But you got to pay to learn. It's better than going broke. Okay? Now, once you learn the system, once you know how to run a truck, once you know the flatbed lanes as they change seasonally, because yes, even flatbeds change seasonally, by the way, and they also change due to all sorts of other reasons. Natural disasters. The Southeast gets hit with a hurricane or something that wipes everything out. Well, don't expect to be picking up lumber down there, and don't be looking for too many steel loads real soon until they get everything cleaned up. It changes all the time. Okay? There are consistent lanes with flatbed, but there are also seasonal changes. Okay? So, with that said, let's get back to our 500-mile run that was supposed to be paying us $1,350. Now, the line haul is where the 75% or the 70% comes out of. So, the line haul on this one, like I said, is paying $1,000, $250 for fuel surcharge, and $100 for tarp. Well, 75% of $1,000 is going to give me $750. Now, they can't touch the fuel surcharge and the tarping or the extras. Okay, those are mine. Okay, it's against the law for them to take that. Okay, so I've got a $750 line haul, $250 fuel surcharge, and $100 for tarping. Well, my $1,350 load has now turned into an $1,100 load. Okay, here's the math, folks. It's this simple. When I originally saw the load, it was $1,350. That's $1,000 for the line haul, $250 for the fuel surcharge, $100 for tarping. When I do my math, because I make 75% of the load, I now make $750 on the line haul, $250 on the fuel surcharge, and $100 for the tarping. Now, if I only made 70%, I can knock another $50 off that, right? Okay. So, now, like I said, this is a 500-mile run, folks. So, I pay 15 cents a mile, up to 26 cents, but we'll use 15 cents for the argument. 15 cents times 500 miles is what? Take your time. Grab a calculator. I encourage you, get a calculator, use a calculator. Odds are there's one on your phone. Go ahead and use it. I'll make it easy for you. 15 cents times 500 miles is $75. So my $1,100 load, okay, it started at $1,350. I already lost $250 just to the percentage off the line haul. Now I got to lose another $75. So now my $1,100 load is only paying me what? Yep, $1,025. Okay? But that truck ain't moving without fuel now, is it? Now, it's a 500-mile run. So it's going to take me probably around 100 gallons of fuel, maybe a little less. But smart driver, it's winter. I don't want to fall short. I never want to go below a quarter of a tank during the winter. I just don't do it. Because you don't know what you're going to run into. You run into a standstill on the interstate. If you've ever been on one that's shut down in the middle of winter, Pennsylvania's a good area for that. Wyoming's a good area for that. All over the country. Serious snowstorms, you could be stuck on that damn interstate overnight. Never go below a quarter. But back to our math here. So I need 100 gallons of fuel to run this 500-mile run. I'm using big numbers here just because of simplicity. So right now, roughly, I'll say fuel is $3.50 a gallon. Depends on where you're at in the country, in all honesty, right? But for this argument, it's $3.50 a gallon. I need 100 gallons. That's another $350. So 15 cents a mile times 500 gives me 75. $3.50 a gallon times 100 gives me $350. So I'm losing $425 on this load. Okay? From the 1100. And that's going to look something like this. See that second line there? 500 times 15 is 75. 100 gallons at $3.50 a gallon is $350. So our load that was originally $13.50 that we figured out, that $13.50 is actually paying us $1,100. So we take the $1,100, we subtract the 75, and the $350 brings us down to what? Yep, $675. So first I was pissed because it was paying me $13.50, and I lost 25%, which brought me down to $1,100. And I thought that was bad, but now I've got all this to figure in, and hell, it drops me down to $675. What a load of shit that is, huh? Not really, folks. Not really at all. That's a damn good run. 1 second here. Indulge me. Let's see. $675 divided by 500, that's $1.35 a mile after expenses. So I just made $1.35 a mile to run that load. Not that bad. A lot of companies are paying somewhere between 50 and 70 cents a mile now. You're still over that. You're almost double that. Okay? The money's there to be made. Now, I only get that $675 if my fixed expenses are paid for the week. Now, your fixed expenses are going to come out every Tuesday. Okay? So if I deliver this load on Friday or on Monday, that's $675 minus my fixed expenses. And if that's, let's say, $900, I'm in the hole $225. Right? But if I run 2 more loads just like that, that would be 3 loads for the week. That would be 1,500 miles. And I was in the hole 225. I've still made $1,125 once I deliver those other 2 loads. Because I got another $675 and another $675, which gives us $1,350 minus the negative $225. I still come out $1,125 to the good. It's not a bad week for 1,500 miles, is it? Huh. Let's see. Yeah. That's about, let's see. It's still $1.33 a mile for 1,500 miles. It's not a bad week, folks. And here's what I'm saying. If my fixed expenses are paid, I make that $675. Right? With all my expenses taken out. If my fixed expenses are not paid, I now come up with a negative $225. But that's for 1 load. And that's because I delivered it on a Friday or a Monday. So you have to know your fixed expenses. You have to know that that's coming out every Tuesday. Your variable expenses are coming out every trip. Okay? This right here is showing you how to work your variables. There's your per mile maintenance. There's your fuel. Now, if you have additives or advances, that's even more that you have to deduct. This is how you work the numbers. The load board showed us $13.50 for the load. And it showed us the breakdown. Line haul, fuel surcharge, and the tarping fee. Once I did my math, whether it's 70 or 75, my line haul changes, my fuel surcharge stays the same, my tarping stays the same, but the overall is lower, okay? Now I have to figure out my variables. That gives me what that load's gonna pay me. Does that make sense? I hope so. If it doesn't, hit me up in the comments. If you work for CRST, give me your truck number. Once I verify it, I'll send you my number, okay? Or I will call you. Take your pick. But you're not getting robbed. A lot of times people are just missing these numbers. They're not calculating everything in that they need to calculate. They're not making all the deductions or taking all the deductions correctly. The big one is that fixed expenses. Okay? That's going to be between $900 and $1,300 a week every Tuesday, whether you like it or not. Then you've got your variables, right? That's your cost per mile for maintenance, your fuel, any additives, okay, and any advances. I hope this helps. I'm not sure. I'm going to try and get the next video out within the week. Probably by Sunday, I'll try and get the next one out. But again, my name's Deming. CRST flatbed lease purchase does work. I've got the numbers to prove it. I've got the settlements to prove it. I've got the bank accounts to prove it. And even though my son and I are not the best of friends these days, we still love him. I love it so much, I brought him over here. And CRST Corporate, if you happen to catch this video, please, anything that I'm not putting in here, reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to add to it. But this is just my take on it. If you have questions about your settlements, drivers, call Payroll. If you're thinking about leaving, call retention. Try and work with Joey Malone and Darren. I can't pronounce Darren's last name, but both of them are outstanding, okay? Understand, CRST has been going through growing pains for the last year or two, but you know what? The money's still out here to be made. Okay, so if you have any questions, again, my truck number is 506-142. If you happen to see me at a truck stop or something, hit me up. I'll grab a cup of coffee with you. I'll grab dinner with you. I'll sit there and talk and go over numbers with you. Not a problem. If you're new to this and you're not part of CRST, this isn't a recruiting video, but you're more than welcome to hit me up in the comments and I'll talk to you about it more. I'll try and get you connected with a driver to get you on the referral bonus, because I do fine here. I don't need the referral bonuses. I don't need the challenges that CRST puts out. I do fine. I'm happy with what I make here. I know everybody thinks, yeah, we could always use more, but I'm just not greedy. I'm sorry. I've got a beautiful wife, beautiful dog, beautiful house. I pay my bills. I've got money to play with, and I'm not going to ask for more. So again, none of this is ever going to turn monetary. I've got more videos to come. If you like it, please hit the like. If you know somebody that could possibly use this information, share the video with them. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. And again, I do apologize for the basicness of this channel, but I am still learning how to do all this stuff. As you can tell, I'm an old man. You know, we started with Texas Instrument calculators and then went on to these really weird DOS setups, and so all this computer stuff's new to me. I am learning it though, and I definitely enjoy sharing the information. If you have any questions, like I said, please make them tangible. If you're getting on the comments section just to argue with me, please take it somewhere else. Have a nice day. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to banter with you. If it's an argument comment, all you're going to see in the reply is, have a nice day, driver, if you're even a driver. If you're having trouble here and you're struggling here, call CRST. Call them and ask them to get in touch with me. Just ask them. Just tell them, hey, Demick, truck 506142. Can you get me in touch with them? They'll get in touch with me and give me your phone number. I'll probably give you a call. If I see you at a terminal or I see you out here on the road, you want my phone number, I'll definitely give you my phone number. You can call me 24/7, you know, and I'm going to help you out best I can. So please stay safe. Don't give up. The program does work. If you're struggling, try and get some help with it, because it does work. It just means that you're doing something a little off. Your timing could be off on deliveries and pickups and sending your paperwork in. Could be little things like that. Could be the way that you run is really hurting you. But we wouldn't know until we look at it and discuss it. So stay safe. Please subscribe. Please like. Please follow. Whatever all this technical crap is with this stuff. And I'll keep putting the videos out. Those of you that are already subscribed, thank you very much, and I do appreciate it. I'm trying to learn how to find the comments and do the comments, and I don't even know how to see who my subscribers are, but I'll dig into this more and try and learn. So until then, keep the shiny side up, keep the wheels turning, as long as it's making you money. So God bless and have a good night.